breathe together. It's so good just to sit together. Not have to go anywhere. Hey, brother. Welcome back. Today, as we prepare for Pesach, we are, what is we are referred to as engaging in the practice of bittul, we are mevata. And this means that we nullify ourselves. So when I say self-nullification, what does that mean to you? What comes up? What does that represent? How do you self-nullify? Give me some ideas.
Ego.
Releasing the ego. Beautiful. What else?
Releasing negativity.
Releasing negativity. Manish. What else? That's good enough. That's good. We'll leave it there. So, there's a very common understanding, and I'm sure most of you know, if we've been learning together long enough, you know, the idea of chametz. Chametz is indicative of the ego. And chametz is when the dough does what? When it rises. So I want to explain to you what's happening when the dough rises. Here, Eileen, there's a seat over here. There's room for you here. Eileen, right here. Oh, even better. Cheryl, you're not going to sit there?
No, I'm good.
So, when you have a piece of dough, wonderful things happen inside of that dough. When the baker leaves it, from the moment that the grain, the flour, touches water, in a process of about 18 minutes, the polysaccharides turn into maltose, and the other saccharides turn into other sugars, and there are various proteins that are decomposing, and all of this activity is happening in the dough, and it causes gases to bubble up. And this gas, mostly oxygen and other gases, bubble up, and the gluten of the bread keeps that skin tight so that it allows the dough to rise. What does this have to do with you? I'll tell you. The great Koritzer Rebbe, or Pinchas of Koritz, he says that if you can, just for a week, just for 8 days, which is 2% of the year, if you could release your life, free yourself of chametz, of this rising, of this inflation, of this ego, he says, you will leave an impression on the world and in your life that is that allows for the divine in ways that you may not have opened yourself to before. There's a divine conditioning that happens. And so, the process between the water hitting the flour and the rising of the dough is 18 minutes. And 18 in Hebrew is a special number. It means life, which means the dough actually comes to life. And there's a white sort of skin. So you know that it's chametz. Do you know what 8 days of the year is? It's 2% of the year. So if you were to take 2% of the year and release yourself, nullify yourself for 8 days, he says you would leave an impression on the world and in your life that is unmatched by anything else you could do spiritually. But really, none of us could live 8 days free of ego, because it's the ego that gets us up in the morning. Ego's not bad. Bread is not bad. Chametz is not a bad thing. We don't equate chametz with negativity. We just say if you could do without it for 8 days, it would make a difference in your life. So if you could do without the ego for 2% of the year, right, it would make a difference in your life. So if you can't go 8 days just nullifying the self, you wouldn't eat, you wouldn't get up, nothing would happen, you know. But you can go 2% of the day. And 2% of your day is how long? Roughly 18 minutes. Is that the coolest thing in the world? So if you can sit in stillness and meditate and release yourself and all the trappings of the self for even just 18 minutes, it would make an impression, hi Heather, it would make an impression in your